Wealth8 is a digital investment app. We're based in the UK with a mission to bring saving and investing to a wider demographic. So I've got Yeti Williams, Miria Wesoma, and we have Tony Thorne. I am being paid Conchu, in case you're wondering. I'm CEO and co-founder of Wealth8, and I'll be anchoring this evening's discussions in no particular order. Tell us who you are. How would you describe your financial journey in one word?
I'm a social entrepreneur. My journey has been from professional to starting my own business to becoming a certified life coach. I started Lagos Moms as a community to support mothers on the journey of raising children in the 21st century. I would say epileptic came to mind.
That's controversial.
There are three main parts of our lives we don't go to school for, and they're the most important. The school of marriage, the school of parenting, and the school of creating wealth.
We talk about parenting on the platform tonight. It's not just strictly being, a mother, a biological mother, but I think many of us are parents to our nieces and nephews, people we mentor. We stand in the gaps for every one of us who is a role model.
Career-wise, I'm a wealth management sales professional. I'm also the founder of the Now You're Talking Network, which is a community and business focused on helping women earn more and be more confident. And of course, a big part of that is talking about wealth management, talking about wealth accumulation and supporting each other and things like salary negotiation as well. My word in relation to my financial journey would be evolving.
I work at JP Morgan. I am a marketing strategy lead there. My word would be enlightening. I would have grown up being told and it being hammered into my head to save. The term investing never even crossed my mind, possibly until probably university when I did economics and accounting. Financial journey also involved starting businesses in the Caribbean. One of the businesses, we started it with $1,000 US and grew it to 7 figures. You learn something new every day. You learn about finance, whether it's personal or whether it's from an institutional perspective. So I definitely say that it has been enlightening.
Difficult to describe it with one word, but I think my one word is on steroids. Stewards. There's a book actually I read called Start Late, Finish Rich. I hope that will be me. I moved to the UK to settle down in my my 30s, and I would say it probably was almost 10 years into my marriage when I thought, actually, I really should start thinking of retiring. I was running my own business law firm. So I would say, yes, it's on steroids because literally having started late, I'm trying to, catch up, basically do as much as I can to sort of build that rainy day, which, I have, but also build that retirement plan. What tips do you have for women looking to take control of their financial future?
My 2 tips, education, but also following it up with the execution.
My 3 tips: emergency fund, invest, and always spend less than you earn.
2 tips, I guess I would say, is money is a means to an end. It's an exchange of value. It's about how you try to, earn it and grow it, and to also to just start, and realize that as you start, you learn and then you get better.
So my 2 tips: start late and finish rich. And secondly, compound interest. In a lot of spaces, the woman may have decided to stop working to raise her children or done a different type of work to allow her to run the family home. And therein again, I wouldn't call it disadvantage, but that arrangement sometimes means that there is a gap between the female and male, and plus the fact that a lot of employers are still paying women differently.
One of the things parents really can do is to try to plan ahead of time. And whenever you do start, just be honest with yourself in terms of what is it you want to achieve for your family, where are you, what are the gaps, and what can you start to do? Rather than just thinking of earning and saving, we need to get comfortable with making our money work for us, investing so that long term it's able to cover all our needs for a family. So as parents as well, I think children also pick up a lot from their moms and dads, of course, but I think if as women too, we get more comfortable investing and talking about earning, investing, growing wealth, those conversations become regular dinner table conversations, and then it helps to encourage a habit that follows our children into adulthood. We did a quick lesson on what compound interest means. And I remember when my son advised that we buy Disney stocks. It was about 10 at the time. And I said, really, Disney stocks, why? He's like, Mom, think about it. Nobody's going to the parks right now. Nobody's traveling right now. So when the pandemic is over and people start traveling again and going to amusement parks, Disney is going to make all this money. And I thought, my goodness, at 10, so that reasoning is something that children really, really can grow with.
I think that support networks and peer networks and that accountability that provides can be really powerful. So for me personally, I've been a part of kind of different accountability groups focused on finances, whether that's saving. As part of the Now You're Talking network, we have a personal finance subgroup that's all about sharing resources and information and tools to help people start investing or start engaging with their money and actually being bold enough to look at the numbers. Just like how that in your career you need a mentor for that kind of guidance for the challenges you might face in your role. I think it's the same for your finances, thinking about who's someone that I can speak to about my finances and share ideas about how we're managing things. I think that can be really helpful. Like, I'm a big fan of just talking about money, whether it's at the dinner table or with friends. I'll be that person bringing up the stats and statistics and saying, oh, what are you guys investing in? Starting the conversation is a big part of it.
And because again, I think one of the things that we find ourselves in is we're sometimes in isolation when we're thinking of money. And even if we have a partner, perhaps we don't want to sound ignorant or we just feel intimidated. And as a lawyer, to be honest with you, I've had lots of meetings with clients, when the couple is buying property and there's a mortgage and the wife sits dutifully there and obviously signs the paperwork, but perhaps doesn't really ask what taking that mortgage out means to the family, what the impact is, what the interest rate is.
One of my roles was executive producer, and I had to go out there and really win business so that we could then put this show on television. That is the same kind of ethos and modus operandi as getting up and kind of negotiating for salary or negotiating for promotion. Is basically proving your worth. I would advise people to always manage your expectations and other people's expectations. A lot of times that we get disappointed is because we are now bringing something to the table that we've never brought before. The most disappointing thing is to come to a table with certain expectations and then those are not met. We as women sit back and say, oh my gosh, look at all of the tick boxes that I don't meet. I shouldn't apply for this. Take a little bit of that patriarchy and roll it out into your life, So I would say ask for what you want in a respectful way. Constantly have conversations, whether it's with your boss or your stakeholders, or even if you're not in a corporate setting with your clients, so that you're not met with an element of surprise.
When I mentioned epileptic earlier about my financial journey, it's coming from, for example, when I went to uni in the US, one of the things they would do as a freshman is to offer you all these credit cards. And it just seems so cool, like, wow, free money, but I learned the very hard way about how you don't want to use those to go to Victoria's Secret, right? So because I had to get comfortable standing in front of anybody and being able to make the value proposition clear about why what I was offering made sense. And I think that skill set that I've done for a decade is so transferable. I think as women, that confidence that comes from knowing what you're saying and knowing that you know what you're doing, or even chesting it. Like, you don't fully know, but you have to have that level of confidence.
Chesting it, I like that.
Yeah, just like, what's the worst that's going to happen, right? And then having the network around you that supports that. I could talk about this forever because I really think at the core of everything is a woman who's confident to say, I am here. I might not have done things right all along. That's fine. And what do I need when I wake up to say, what do I need for this new next stage of my life? Because too many times we talk about celebrating the 30 under 30, which is great. But what about the fabulous 50 over 50 who just start at 50?
Absolutely.
If we're living to be 100 now, at 50, you've only gone halfway.
So depending on your level of education and what you want to learn about, try and find the newsletters and the outlets that speak to a language that you understand, because you don't just want to invest in something because the platform's saying it. So yeah, I would say do your research, start with the investment apps and their blogs and their content. But even reading stuff like BBC Business News will keep you abreast of like the macro situation, so you can start to think about how that might apply to your finances as well.
You said, what tools can I use to do some investing? Well, Wealth8.